who present, past, and future sees, whose ears have heard the holy word that walked amongst the ancient trees, calling the lapsed soul and weeping in the evening dew, that might control the starry pole and fallen night renew. O earth, return! Arise out of the dewy grass. Night has worn, and the morn rises from the slumberous mass. Turn away no more, why wilt thou turn away? The starry floor, the watery shore, is given thee to the break of day. Good to be with you, my friends. It is I, your spiritual entertainer at the normal time for the rest of the year during the week, because I have to take my kids to school and stuff, right? It's that time of year. Good to see you, Red and Vixen and Mills Coolin and Zerg Zerg. And there's a demon in the chat. We have a real life demon, a devil. Oh my. What are we going to do now? Spiritual entertainment, my friends. 7 days a week I am here. Don't forget to touch the like button at the top of your screen. I do this every day for you, whatever you want to talk about. Sacrifices ahead and lettuce to the rabbits. How appropriate, my friend. My rabbits appreciate you. Truthly Official is here. Good to see you. Our good friend from the land of Jordan. Good to see you. We had a good time last night singing hymns to the Emperor of all mankind. That's from Warhammer 40K, if you don't know it. That was like, in terms of all the video games I've streamed, that seems to be the one that people enjoy the most. The Warhammer, right? And I'm just getting into the lore and learning it. And I shared a little bit of lore before I got on here this morning about the Emperor of mankind. There's so much lore in this video game and tabletop series, comic books, there's so much material. So I plan on sharing a lot from that in the upcoming days from Warhammer. It's a wonderful game. Now, I've never played tabletop Warhammer. I'm certainly going to do that in the future if I find an appropriate table. But I've played all of the video games, and I've really enjoyed them. The ability to immerse yourself in this world, it's all there. It's all there, the beauty of the lore. Warhammer lore is dark. Yes, it is. It certainly is. It's got a darkness to it, right? And that's part of its uniqueness and its beauty, right? Of the Warhammer lore. There's no black and white. There's no morality. There is only the Imperium, my friends. That is it. Such beautiful lore in 40, and also grimdark as well. In Warhammer, there are big-ass books with all the stories supporting. Yeah, there's lots of material out there that I need to get familiar with because I'm going to continue to enjoy it. There's supposed to be a Warhammer movie coming out eventually in the next couple of years, right? With Henry Cavill. He is going to be, of course, doing this movie, right? He's a big fan of the Warhammer, right? Do you think there are infinite gods or one God with infinite faces? If you're not separated from God, so you are a face of God. When you experience theosis, you are God. So God certainly has many faces. There's one ultimate reality, but this ultimate reality is revealed in its art, in its mystery, right? That's how I understand it. There's a Lord and a lady for me, and that Lord and the lady has many, many faces that I experience, right? It all goes back to the one. Like when I look at my wife, I see the goddess. She's a unique manifestation of it as an individual, as a child, and that face leads you to the essence, right? That's how I understand it. All icons of God, yeah, right? Elder Symphony, or Saint Symphony of the Holy Mountain of Essex, he talked about when you experience divinization, it's like you have no beginning or end. I mean, this is deep stuff, right, for our Christian friends, right? Oh, what in the witchcraft is this? I don't know. I'm just an entertainer. Whatever witchcraft you want to bring here, that's your problem, right? Witches are my friends. And I am friends with lots of people with various forms of spirituality. I don't discriminate, only in terms of how you act towards me. I try to share courtesy with all peoples. That's why I'm friends with Satanists as well, right? Like our demon friend here in the chat. Go lift some weights and run. Go fuck off. Yeah. Mind your own business. That's right. Tell Cherry he needs Jesus. Cherry, you need Jesus. Yeah. No bitches here. That was invented by King James, damn it. Yeah. We all need the ultimate reality in human form. Oh my. 5'3", the kid is here. Yep, that is I. I am the bard. I am the spiritual entertainment. Nothing more, nothing less. Comedy and spirituality together in one place for your entertainment leisure. Don't forget to hit the like button at the top of your screen. There's a like button for you, my friends. Yeah, redeem yourself. Orthodoxy is fascinating. Yeah, that was my tradition in terms of my spirituality. Yeah, that I've come from. Hail, Kedadwin. You call upon the forces of all the technological advances to crush the demons. Well, what forces are we talking about? Are we talking about the eternal emperor, the emperor of mankind? Are you invoking the emperor's name here? Hail the cheesecake. Wonder what the UK would be like without the dissolution of the monasteries. UK would be filled with Orthodox. Yeah, Orthodoxy is in the royal family, right? Russian Orthodox. That is in the royal family, right? That is the Tetranonomicon. I don't know what it is. I'm just an entertainer. It can be whatever you want. I don't care. Yeah. I rebuke this in the name of Jesus, where the demons say, fuck you. The demons don't care. They're not interested in your Jesus name. You have no power. You are a powerless, weak, and pathetic Christian man. Hit the like button, damn it. What's going on with this shit? Help about out. Spiritual entertainment. What's going on with the like button? Help about out. I do this for a living. Yeah. Oh, let's see here. You humans, but us tech in your image, not the emperor, but the administrator. Are you a servant of the Omni Messiah? Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah, we don't want to get into the politics of the UK. They certainly have a lot of problems. You cannot blame the Muslims for doing what you should be doing, which is procreating. The part of Islam is procreation. That's why you are losing your culture. You're losing your people because you're not screwing, right? You're not making babies. That's very important. If you want to continue your culture, you have to stop breeding. Very important. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Tell them, according to you, Deacon, even orthodoxy has manipulation. How could I deal with this if the orthodoxy is manipulated? Dogma is a manipulation. You follow the dogma or you're excluded by God. That is a manipulation. That's orthodoxy. Look what they did in Nestorius, right? Comedy. Saha al-Bukai messenger married me when I was 6 years old. What the hell is this shit? I don't care about that bullshit. Not all Islam is fanaticism, right? We have good Islamic friends here. I am not a fan of any of the Abrahamic religions. So you're preaching to the choir here. What was your favorite toilet demon in the cult movie, The Ghoulies? Oh my. The Ghoulies is a wonderful series in the 80s. where you have these creatures coming out of the toilet, basically, right? That's all I remember of it. And people getting high and going to college. You notice these college movies in the 80s, everyone's like 30 years old. Yeah, then they're going to school pretending like they're young people, right? What did they do to Nestorius? Well, he believed that Jesus was Christotokos, not Theotokos. So they made him anathema, rejected by God in church. And he went around spreading the message out in the Far East. He continued to share his message. And, the great Marmar, the Canadian bishop, is a product of the Nestorians, right? Let's see. What did you just say? Damn. That's where we at here. You have studied for 32 years. You're a Muslim. I don't care. I'm not interested in Islam, unless it's Sufi Islam. Sufi Islam I like. Pickles, the drummer, is here, playing his drum, just like a rear. And be nice. I don't have to be nice. It's my show. I don't have to be nice to you. You're a trans man. You don't think the goddess could be also a man? Well, you have the what's interesting about the Sibyl cults of ancient Greece. These were all dudes, right? That were revealing the goddess. The goddess is in all things. The goddess has a face. And the more feminine the image, the more closer to the goddess, in my opinion, right? I see the goddess where I see lady. Even in literature, when I'm reading literature, the feminine reality, I see the goddess in me. I feel a lady living in me, right? We all have an anima and an animus, right? The Warlock film. Oh, yeah, I love the Warlock film from the 90s. That was really good. I actually watched that a few months ago with my wife. It was really well done. Yeah, the first one was the best. When they changed the actor, it kind of got shitty. Now that actor who did the original one, he died, 10 years ago, right? He did a lot of film. There can only be one Highlander, right? Duncan MacLeod, baby. DeBasti is here. Good to see you. So you believe in separating the masculine and feminine? No, I think they're in harmony. I think there's a balance. When you get in touch with the feminine within you, if you have this union of opposites. Like I have a lady living in me, the animal. And when I learn to find unity with it, a divine child is born. A unity is there. Alchemy, wisdom. I look at things in terms of alchemy. How they love putting you in a corner, right? They want to get one up on you, right? That shit doesn't work on me, sir. Kiwi, good to see you, our good friend. If you donate $20 a bar, we'll convert to your religion for a week. I will. Whatever religion it is. Save yourself from reposting your scriptures over and over again. I will convert for $20. Yeah. There are only two genders. Do you agree? The idea of gender to me is like a journey. You could see it in everything. Some more than others. I don't answer questions like that because they are loaded with politics. Yeah. That's homophobic. Yeah, I am homophobic. What is it? Today is what, Wednesday? I'm bisexual today. Yeah. No one puts the body in it. That's right, Steve, my lover here. My homosexual lover has come to rescue me. Kim Connors is here. Oh, nice to see you, Kim. Good to have you here. There's all the flags going up, right? Everybody's drawing the lines in the sand. I'm for all people. I don't care about your politics. The idea that you come here with loaded questions tells me that you're not a real human being, that you live in a false illusion and an ideology that you're always trying to push people into because you draw meaning from it and purpose. I don't live that way. I don't give a shit. Yeah. You see the spirit of Odin here? Oh, my. We're going to break out the runes, my friend. Oh, I love reading runes. And there's a great mythology behind the runes. Odin, right? Have you seen the old horror films called Pumpkinhead? Oh man, that was some crazy shit. So Pumpkinhead is like his curse. Somebody gets pissed off and they go to this old lady in the woods who summons the Pumpkinhead. And that's a mistake because the Pumpkinhead, the thirst for vengeance doesn't end, right? It's like a couple of Pumpkinhead movies, right? Yeah, that's some good stuff, Baba Ganache. Yeah. You're getting out all the fun films from the 80s that I grew up on, right? To be honest, I'm a borderline human being. Oh, you are from another world, are you? That's expedient to call it an IGN. Well, fuck off if you don't like it. I don't care. I'm not going to play your political bullshit games. Yeah. Let's see here. Where are we at here? I think they resurrect the sun, like in the Pet Cemetery. Yeah. I don't recall the details. But Pumpkinhead is on my list of watch again films. They had that one actor in it. Yeah, he played in a lot of B movies. I forgot the older guy, the father in it. He played in a lot of. That's how he became really popular. I forgot his name. Oh, let's see here. Yeah. Why is it important to Brandon? Because Brandon lives in a world of illusion. He goes around drawing lines in sand so people can affirm his ideology. It makes him feel good about himself, right? Living in an illusion is what a lot of people do. They don't treat other people with respect and dignity just because they're human beings. They have to qualify first. It's a terrible philosophy that people are living, that you only qualify as a human being when you support my viewpoint, right? It's a terrible philosophy. It really is. You've been smoking a reefer and reverting back to the Police Academy series. It's because you love the Blue Oyster Cult. That's why. You want to go back to those old days of leather and bikers and burly, curly men, right? The Police Academy was a lot of fun. You know, that's not a show I should have watched as a child, but I did, right? Wishmaster, now that was excellent. I watched that last year, the whole entire series. I mean, that was some scary shit, right? To have a being of such power that you have to defeat, right? Take care, demon. Have a great day at work. Take care of yourself. You are doing harm against trans and gay youth. Yeah, fuck off. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. My daughter is transgender. Yeah. Don't fear the reefer. Good to see Camera Lady is here, a wonderful friend and murderer of pickle men. I saw what you did to those poor pickle people. She posted it on our Discord channel. She put them all in a prison of various herbs and spices and juices. Now they cannot thrive in the world. The pickle men. After you drew a picture of them to honor the pickle men, and now you have imprisoned them forever. Oh my. Just wait till the pickle men have revenge on you. The pickle men are coming. The pickle men are coming. Watch out. Watch out. Sounds like an AI idea. The bard and me and the blue oyster. Dancing around in studded leather. Now Zerg is going to make that now. Watch. He's going to put me in all leathers at the Blue Oyster, having a good time with Steve there. Let's see here. Where are we at here? Yeah, Gwendolyn's here to save me from this asshole here. That's in the chat. These people always have agendas. They don't care about other human beings. They just want to find a place where they can thrive on their politics, drawing lines in the sand. They don't even know anything about the other people. They want to be heard. Yeah, well, no one gives a shit here about you drawing lines in the sand. We don't play those games. Yeah, yeah. Don't care what you are. Yeah, to me, you're an asshole. That's all I see in the chat. You're trying to usurp the conversation, demanding that we affirm you. I don't care, right? What about prophecy? Oh, that was a good one with the angels, right? Christopher Walken, right? That was really good. Now, I don't have any memories of it. That was back in the 90s when it started, the prophecy. Christopher Walken, he's amazing, isn't he? Right? Just the way he talks, right? There's something magical about him, right? And him being the archangel Michael, right? Him being the archangel Michael, amazing performance. Let's see here. I'm just going to ignore Brandon from now on. You know, these people are they're so deluded, right? The high priestess of the mountains is here, a fellow traveler on the Druid's path. Good to have Gwendolyn here as she prepares. Are you working today? Our friend Gwendolyn. ELP, a brother in arms. We fought for the Emperor yesterday against the Xenos, and we have driven them back. And tonight, I will gather again if anyone wants to join me in fighting the forces of chaos, standing up for the eternal Emperor, making us stand for all Terrians everywhere, standing up against the Xenos, and they are spread across the galaxy. Let's see here. Have you ever seen the Poltergeist movies? Now, that was some good shit. Now, the new Poltergeist movies are even better. They only made the one, unfortunately. I hope they do more. But they made a TV show that really didn't do well, the Poltergeist TV show in the 90s. But the Go Into the Light, Caroline, that was some scary shit, right? I remember watching that as a young person. I'm like, wow. You know, it's like you really are put in this place where you barely are able to defeat the evil. Is so powerful, but you ultimately defeat it in the end, right? That's the trick of these horror movies. They make it like the evil is so powerful, and it really takes all of your energy, all of your essence to defeat it, to drive it back where it's ultimately defeated, right? That's why, you know, people look at like the supernatural, I guess if you want to call it that, in real life. They treat it as that as well, that they're going to be defeated. And it's that I don't see that as the truth, right? That's just movie Hollywood magic, right? Run to the light, Killan. Come into the light, Killan. Yeah. You be sure to sub to him. Where are we at? Yeah. Brandon is here is on a mission, right? He won't listen to you, Gwendolyn. There's peace and serenity. Yeah. Okay, we got Jesus is here, bringing salvation to all of us. Save us, Jesus, save us. When will we be fighting for the Emperor? Next. Tonight, brother. Around 11 p.m. your time, 11 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. my time, I will take up arms and make a stand for the Imperium against all of these terrible forces that are consuming space, right? You ate a bacon and egg, cheese from Dunkin' Donuts today. Now you're in the danger zone, right? You are texting me on your toilet. You shouldn't have done that. Right now you've learned your lesson as you are unable to escape the problems of your backside, right? Yeah, let's see. What do you think, who wins in a cat fight versus Red Zonia? Catwoman versus Red Zonia? Red Zonia. No one can wield her sword like that woman, right? Now I'm talking about the old Red Zonia with Arnold in it, not the new lady. I didn't get to see the new one yet, but I'm talking about the old school Red Zonia, right? The power that she wielded with that sword, all of that courage, all of that energy manifesting, right? She is a true hero. Yeah. Uh, you are far more hateful than anyone. Your fascism. Oh, you're talking to Brandon, right? These people, I mean, they're really off their rocker, aren't they? They're all caught up in these ideologies and politics, and they're on a crusade, right? And they just came to the wrong place today. There's no crusade here. But when you prove them wrong, they won't take it. They lose their shit. It's a terrible psychosis, unfortunately. Where are we at here? The guy from Scanners. Shit, you're taking me back in time. Scanners. That's like 1982 right there. The Scanners had that. They blow up your brain and shit, right? Yeah. You tried to warn about the political? Yeah. Go touch grass. Tell him, Gwendolyn. Or smoke it. One or the other. Right? Yeah, we're not into the president here. We're not into the politics. See, Gwendolyn had to delete her politics there. She got it out. She got it out of her system. Oh, man. They're just programmed to only see things through one lens. And you have to understand something with that truth. We all have been, right? I can guarantee that I was just like that at some point in my life. Going on streams, going on to Facebook chats, to usurp my ideology, my illusion on others. I think we have all been there. And it takes a lot of courage to admit that about yourself, where you come from, right? We've all been on the mission, right? Because that's how we've been raised. That's how we've been taught to see other people in the world, right? And it's quite unfortunate. Yeah. The Great Gate was awesome. So I've seen that several times. You have this rock group who has all of this music that is really a way to conjure a gateway to the abyss. And some young people got involved in this, and they created a rift in their backyard on accident when they buried their cat. Was it a cat or a dog? And then this little boy has to defeat all of these entities that are taking over the world, basically, right? And he does it with the power of love, right? Love and rockets, basically, right? Now, the Gate 2 wasn't as good. It was more, the Gate 2 had a little bit more comedy element in it than the first one. You had a bunch of people running around smoking reefers, and they captured one of these little creatures that were minions of the abyss. And the thing would grant you wishes. So they got all kinds of shit. And it turned into shit eventually, which was fun. Right? The Gate was a great movie. Good to see you, Kevin. Good to have you here. Wonderful movie, right? The Gate. That was one of my favorites as a young person as well. I think I saw that when I was like 12 or 13, 14 years old. I can't remember. But they realize politicians, yeah, thief, yeah, there's a lot of inappropriate ones, right? Shift away from the politics, right? Gwendolyn's got the hammer out. She's ready to give the smackdown. Gonna beat it out of you. You remember the Gate, Steve? Yeah, that was a good one. I bet someone's gonna go watch that now because we've been talking about it. Don't forget, hit the like button as you come in, friends. You can't wait to serve the Emperor again. Me too, brother. I want to get out there and defeat the evil Xenos, and they're spread across the cosmos. We must stand against it. I have many hymns that I prepared for tonight that I will be singing to honor the Emperor. That last night was our best video game stream ever. I've never had that many people watching any of my video game stuff ever. So people really like that. When HBO showed all the movies, yeah. And Cinemax, right? Oh, man. Now they're one. HBO Max, right? Now they're just Max, I believe. Is that right? Max won the battle with HBO. Yeah, don't forget, found. Hit that like button. Now, I probably tomorrow I might get in. If people like Space Marines and stuff, I have all of the the games basically of Warhammer. So I might do tomorrow. I might do Warhammer, um, the Rogue Trader. I might start doing that. There's a new DLC for it that I will purchase. That is a fun game. And now that it's completed and there's no damn bugs. I mean, the company sucks. Owlcat, you guys are assholes because you always release shitty games and it takes you a year to fix them. So I don't like buying Owlcat games. I mean, these people are assholes. They're terrible. I used to know some of the developers over in Russia, and they said, yeah, our game wasn't finished. Yeah, I'm like, what a bunch of assholes would do that, right? Release a shitty ass game, not complete, right? I bet 3 minutes someone will shout, demon, you need redemption. Well, we had a demon on earlier, right? Yeah, we had like 75 viewers at one point. I mean, that's a big deal for me because this is a small channel, right? Was I ever into the Masters of the Universe? Of course I was. I had Castle Grayskull. I had, by the way, the Trapjaw in the new movie is excellent. I mean, it reminded me of my little character. I had Trapjaw when I was young. I had all kinds of He-Man figures. All kinds of them. I mean, that was like when I was in first or second grade. He-Man came out, right? It was an amazing thing. So I love the He-Man movie. It was a wonderful comedy. The He-Man movie. I would have liked for a more serious He-Man. Maybe they can do like a live action television show of He-Man. That would be cool. I mean, it was a comedy and it was well done, right? Resident Evil is a trip. That's your game. You like it, Resident Evil? I never really got into it. Yeah, the bolt gun. Oh yeah, the bolt gun is, especially the semi-automatic one. That one is the best. You haven't played the new one, the Warhammer? Yeah, we've been playing Space Marines too. That's a lot of fun. I like doing the siege. There's like 5 rounds. It lasts about an hour and a half. It's really a lot of fun. Skeletor did nothing wrong. That's right. We love Skeletor here. He is just misunderstood. Fresh Gaia smile. Good to see you, child of the stars. Good to have you here. I'm probably saying it wrong, right? Yeah, always nice to have all it. Skeletor was your favorite, Camera Lady? Yeah, I think he was all of our favorite, right? Skeletor had a unique appearance, right? Oh man, did you see the Christian minister talking about the dangers of He-Man and how it's like invoking Satan, right? All of the symbolism, right? The Christians got really scared of He-Man, right? Yeah, He-Man was an interesting show as a child. Everyone loved Tila, right? We all had a crush on her. Or am I the only pervert here? Right? Oh, I hate puzzles. That's why I don't play Zelda anymore. Do you think if I pretend to be a troll, the algorithm will send more people this way? The algorithm's a confusing thing for me, right? I don't understand it. I think that there's greater powers at work here, helping me build my community, and I think that not having a lot of people tune in, it helps me to build a community here with people. So I don't mind, witchcraft, goblin, demons manifesting. You want me to whip my penis out at you too? I bring the reels. You want to see my wiener? Then you would certainly be calling Satan, right? Jared Leto actually did a good job as Skeletor, yeah. You can't see his face, yeah. Well, he is like an immortal being, right? Now, I watched something about him today, or was it yesterday, that he has his own personal island and a cult on there. I don't know if that's propaganda. He likes bringing all these females to his island. He's kind of like Epstein, but for adults. I thought that was weird. Yeah. Now, he looks the same as he did when he did My So-Called Life. right? Back in the 90s, I used to watch that on MTV. He looks exactly the damn same, right? He's a vampire, I tell you. He did a good job. You don't like Jared Leto. You're not a fan? Fiona is here, the bard Fiona from Wild Carey, Ireland. You're back from the dentist again. Oh, Fiona, your love for your dentist. Oh, my. You're getting quite the reputation amongst dental hygienists, right? You keep going back for more, right? Chicken burger. He abuses women on that island. So that's real. He really does do that shit. That's unfortunate. That's quite unfortunate. That is true about his code. Yeah, that's terrible that he does that. Yeah. Yeah. You never know when you're watching something, if it's real nowadays, right? He's doing a deep dive into cults lately. Yeah, that's unfortunate. You ever see the cult leader that was the Tiger King, who did the same, collecting women at his zoo compound? I never heard of that. I've heard of the Tiger Man that used to live down here in Florida, that he's in jail. He was the gay guy with all the tigers and stuff, and he ended up murdering someone, right? That was something that was about 10 years ago, but I never heard of the other tiger person. Have I seen the Twin Towers before 9/11? The best Twin Towers film is Mazes and Monsters with Tom Hanks, where Pardue climbs to the top of the towers to learn the spell of flight. That is the best Twin Towers film. You want to see what the Twin Towers used to look like? Watch that. Prostate exam. Good to see you, our good friend. Hope you are doing well. That wasn't a cult. He was just crazy, really. You knew the Tiger King. You met him twice. Was he one of your lovers, this tiger person? The occult war was fun. It happened in 19 what? What occult wars are we talking about here? There's all kinds of occult fun out there for people. His name was Doc Antle. Yeah, I've never heard of that before, right? Yeah. Caroline Baskin. I never heard of these people before. Green Dove the Green. Good to see you, Greedo. From the Star Wars bar scene, resurrected Greedo here has returned to us to tell us about the terrible abuses of Chewbacca by Han Solo. They've always had an intimate relationship off screen. But unfortunately, we don't get to hear the real story of that, just of the abuse of Han Solo, right? I wish he was a badass, really. The Tiger King wasn't a leader. He was, the other guy was Doc Antle. See, I'm unfamiliar. I've learned a lot about cults over the years. I almost joined one. When I started Christianity, there was this group of people that were handing out this beautiful literature about the end of the world. And like, you guys are cool, right? And they spoke all of like the modern language of young people. And they seduced me in thinking that they were important, that they were doing good for God in the world. And I went to their compound, and the guy told me about how they share wives and shit like that. I'm like, well, that makes me a little bit uncomfortable. See you later. And I came to learn later that this is like one of the most notorious cults in the world, the family, as they call themselves now, formerly known as the Children of God. And they would sleep with everybody in the family, right? They're really perverts and sickos. So I almost joined them. Isn't that crazy? If I was a little bit more hornier, I probably would have shared in their pleasures, but at least with the adult of the room, the guy wanted to share his wife, right? That's a little bit bizarre behavior for me at that time in my life. Yeah. Oh, let's see here. He would be a great video that you watch about Alerta. It's basically Scientology 2.0. Yeah, there's all kinds of weird shit out there for people to join, right? I think our cult is well balanced here. Yeah, this is actually your second cult. Good times here, good people. Yeah, you want to be a Scientologist for a year to get your house renovated, uh, like the decor. You think maybe you should try joining an Amish community. They're wonderful house builders, right? You can get join that can provide you with a family and everything, and build you a new house. And then you could just do your own thing, get some power up in that shit, electricity, right? Optional orgies in my cult. Yes, they are all optional. You don't have to participate. Yeah. At the higher levels, we practice semen retention as we come out of we start out with like the orgy phase where everyone's having a good time. And then we go into the semen retention phase after that, which sometimes leads to emasculation or, sewing things up. Yeah. Being spayed or neutered, as we like to call it. Right. Amish Scientologists there. Butt binding is cost extra in our cult, if you are into that. Yeah. The retention phase, anything but that, it's optional. You don't have to do the semen retention. That is all optional. Make sure you're hitting the like button, friends, as you come in. Spiritual entertainment, 7 days a week. The circumcision is optional unless you want to go up to the higher levels. All right, I'm going to get seated here. It's time to sit down. Circumcision is always optional. Only the most devout practice removing of the foreskin, right? The super circumcision is not optional. If you want to excel in cult membership, you have to be willing to give a little bit of your foreskin, right? Foreskin is very important to certain deities, and we consider the foreskin quite sacred. For everyone. If it doesn't matter if you're female or male, you will get circumcised. We encourage the surgery called the addictomy for the foreskin removal if you don't have a penis already, right? Very important surgery. Higher levels have benefits, but we can't talk about it. These are secrets. These are secrets that we keep together. Yeah. Let's see. The lion guy and his wife. Yeah, that was that they called it Tiger King or something. That was a popular TV show about 10, 15 years ago. And the guy got in trouble for murdering someone, right? Yeah. And he was the gay man with all the tigers, right? And he got busted or something doing a murder. I can't remember the context, right? That was a while ago. When that happened. Yeah. ELP, you're at the highest level. If you cut it any more off, you'll be measuring depth, not length. You see the devotion of people that are willing to go to the top of cult membership, right? There's always more foreskin that you can remove. I mean, look at Yahweh. Yahweh's got like a record champion of foreskin collection. Right? Think about all those foreskins over the centuries that Yahweh has achieved for himself. It's like he's like an Olympic gold medalist, right? Let's see here. The tinfoil hat is here. Our good friend Tinfoil Hat. Good to see you, our friend. For your entertainment leisure. Why is my camera going off at my front door? Let's see. He was plotting to kill someone, but never killed anyone. So that was the case. So he having the plot could sometimes be like reduced to a bad conversation, and that was probably used against him, right? I haven't heard much about him. That was all like a big drama in the olden days of 10 years ago, right? There's no hate like Christian love here. Yeah, Jesus did teach love, but unfortunately most of his followers are assholes. They come out here making demands of me. Literally the opposite of a religion is today. One moment here, I got someone coming up the stairs here. Let's see what they want. Who's coming up the stairs? Who is that? Are you leaving? Someone opened the front door. No. Maybe there's a package out there. Okay. All right. That was my daughter out there. I got one of my kids is at school today. Everyone's getting ready for school next week. I got one that started today. Had to drive her up there this morning. I'm not here to bash you guys. You love me. You want to be my lover. That costs money, sir. I am not a lover for free. My bodily services. Lilith, what's going on with you? Good to see you, Lilith. Our friend Lilith has returned to us. True crime documentaries are very popular at that time. Yeah, they were. He was so he think he got wrapped up in a lot of the frenzy and was treated unjustly. Yeah, Keredwin loves you, my friends. I understand the confusion. I was lost too. I was too and lost. Yes, I'm lost, James. I have lost my way. Maybe you could be my pathfinder and lead us back to the All-Father. Let's see. Tell them what all I said. Okay, I will certainly do that. The never-ending story was scary. You didn't. The wolf scared you. The never-ending story wolf. Yeah, that darkness to me was more scary. I mean, there's so much truth to the never-ending story. If you look at the philosophy of the destruction of the imagination, what it does to people, because we are losing our imagination, right? We are losing our creativity. That darkness is there. It's building, right? When you lose your creativity, you could be enslaved really easy by all kinds of, strange philosophies or extra dimensional beings, right? The Inquisitor Bacon is here, making sure everything is not kosher. Good to see you, Inquisitor. Good to have you here. Top of the morning, Aura. Very hateful, but it wasn't God's fault. What the hell are you talking about? What is hateful? I'm offering my service to you for pleasure at a proper price. Neverending Story was a series that was tried so hard. You didn't like it. Now the part 2 kind of sucked. But the first one, the philosophy in it, I think was really, reached deep into our hearts. And everyone loved the princess back then, right? Oh, let's see here. Where are we at? The Neverending Story was very deep. I think so. Atreyu! Right? Very frightening. Yeah, Kevin, the grandson of Gordie Howe, resident mythicist. Good to have you here. When the horse was in the mud, that was sad. When the horse dies, right? And the never-ending, it was filled with all kinds of trauma and tragedy. The never-ending story, right? You want to prevent all this is to embrace caveman level of communication, like showing one another how big your penis is. You think that is the way forward? Look at this. My wiener is bigger than yours. I'm going to take all of your wives now, and they will be my gatherers. Will I provide them the proper services of a caveman that they deserve? Let's see here. The Wolf scared the crap out of you. You haven't watched it as an adult. You need to watch it again. Yeah, right. It's a really well done film. Right? Falcor, right? The great dragon Falcor driving around the cosmos, right? Oh man, look at that. Yeah. Spiritual entertainment, my friends. Don't forget to hit the like button as you come in at the top of your screen. Comedy and spirituality together every morning for your entertainment leisure. And tonight we are returning to our service of the Emperor. May his name be forever praised as we fight the forces of chaos in the universe. All of the terrible Xenos tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Page Master. Oh, that was a fun one. That was a later one in the 90s. The Page Master was really well done. And we can't forget Labyrinth. Labyrinth 2 is supposed to be in the works, is it not? They're having the guy who played Loki do it, Tom Higglestein or whatever his name is. Yeah, he's supposed to be taking the place of the wonderful um, David Bowie, who was the original actor of the Goblin King. So that is something to look forward to, right? For the Emperor, a lot of occult symbolism in the never-ending story. The princess is named Moonchild at the end. Interesting. See, we all of those symbols, right, going into our subconscious, informing us. And that's why all these people are in the occult now. The Christians were right. In the 80s, they were trying to brainwash us with all of the occult, right? Um, did you bring your leek today? What the hell is a leek? Isn't that a vegetable or something? What's going on with that? A leek? I don't understand the context. Hoodoo, the voodoo that you do. Page Master. I forgot all about that. That was a good film. That was what, 96? Page Master? That was really. Didn't it have Macaulay Culkin in it or something? Uh, can we get a Zoroastrianism resurgence? Well, Zoroastrianism is at its in terms of there's a few 100,000 members of the religion of Zoroaster. I think there's like 200,000 people in the world that continue this religion. It continues to grow. The religion of Zoroaster is mostly ethnic and family based. They're not like going out preaching. Your children inherit what you inherit. So this is something very alive in the world. There's temples all over the world for Zoroaster. I think there's one in the United States. I know there's one in Canada. It is a growing religion because the people, the original descendants of the religion, they still have a voice in the world. They still have a presence. So Zoroastrianism it's gone through a lot of changes. Most of the original religion has been wiped out because of Islam, right? And so a lot of the materials, basing itself in oral tradition. It's a fire religion. It's like very close to Christianity in terms of the dualism between a good and an evil being fighting over the cosmos, right? Azura Mazda and Arahim. I'm probably saying that name wrong, right? Let's see here. Where did you get the bear suit? From my lover. Yeah. There's some funny stuff about dear Bobby. He was a wonderful entertainer, right? Aren't you Welsh? I have Welsh ancestors. I am not Welsh. I'm an American. If you want to talk about Welsh stuff, ask ELP. That's his land, right? I don't know what that is, but you're interested. Yeah. Culkin was the main kid in Page Master, and Christopher Lloyd was the librarian. And the BBEG at the end. Yeah, that was a really good story, right? The Page Master. Yeah, I remember the storm. I remember the library, being trapped in there. Welsh people must carry a leek. It's law. I wouldn't know. I'm not a citizen. That's where some of my ancestors were from. So are you from that region of the world, Ginger Cat? Right? I doubt that everyone's carrying a leek, though. A lot of people say Christianity came from Zoroastrianism. Modern, the Judaism of the time of Jesus was influenced by Zoroaster. But modern Judaism is more a reform of that experience of diversity during that time. It inherited the Pharisaical tradition of most modern Judaism. Yeah. I know what I'm referring to. Yeah, interesting. Fan-made music is here. Good to see you. Fan-made music for your entertainment leisure in the morning time here. Kimberly Murphy. It's funny? We have two Kimberly Murphys that are part of our channel. Isn't that funny? Right? There's 2 Kimberly Murphys that are here. Um, Bard, have you ever experienced anything that could not rationally explain? UFO, ghosts, spirits? Well, I've never been abducted and butt probed by aliens, but I certainly have a fear of them. I have experienced spirits and things like that, right? That's part of my lifestyle. And, trying to explain it, trying to understand it, it certainly has changed over the years. Christians pop up all the time. Ravenov Claw, you think so? Yeah, they love coming here from time to time. We've been quite safe this morning from them. We've only had like one come on. But, maybe it's because of the time change. Usually, my earlier show, they're always showing up, annoying the shit out of us with their copying and pasting. We had this one gentleman that was on for like half a year. He would come on. His name was Joseph. Some of you remember Joseph? We had banned him several times. He basically copied and pasted every verse from the Bible during that 6-month period. It was always something new, over and over again. You remember Joseph? Some of you? Yeah, quite a nuisance. Jerry Ginger, good to see you. Yeah, glad to have you here. Fan-made music. Skibbity bop bop bop. Yeah. 2 Murphys don't make it right. I always say Cool J is here. Instead of Christians, we're being flooded with Kimberly Murphys today. Ooh, well, that's much better, I would say. Much better. Yeah. That's incredible. Yeah. You've only experienced some truly horrific dreams, nightmares, and one was a UFO sighting. Yeah. Those are very traumatic for people who experience alien abduction, right? And I have a genuine fear of it. I don't know if it's real or not, but it's real to a lot of people. So I certainly have a fear of being butt probed at night. We only remember the message. I wonder how Joseph is doing right now. I don't know. He must have given up. Now we have this gentleman. Some of you see him on here all the time or commenting. He is like the Roblox Christian. He has a Roblox image in his name, and he's always talking about me being forgiven all the time. The Roblox Christian, as we call him. Yeah, he's on here every day. He was on here yesterday in my comments talking about I need to repent and stuff like that. Reading the Bible is what made you the way you are. Yeah, me too. Yeah. We are missing our constant reminder that Jesus loves us today. Well, it's good to get a break, right? So we can talk about other things. We're talking about various films today from the 80s and 90s that were meaningful to a lot of people, right? Because they come on, they just don't stop, and we end up spending half the show trying to tell them that they're full of shit, right? You had a dream of being abducted by aliens. How do you know it was a dream? Right? Did you check your backside? Is there any residue back there? Yeah. You had a dream about UFOs. They were here to rescue us. Well, why are they butt probing everybody? I mean, to me, that's not rescuing. That's like you're trying to have a good time with us. I mean, why all of the butt probes, aliens? If you're out there watching extraterrestrial beings, what's up with the butt probes? I mean, that's like the staple of the Greys. The Greys are like the most perverted aliens. They're not like the reptilians. The reptilians are only interested in ruling the world. Now, the Greys, they're always putting stuff up your ass and stuff like that. I mean, that's scary to me when you don't ask permission. Yeah. Feel forgiven then. What's the problem? Yeah, right. Continuous sitting. Yeah. We can't help ourselves. We're always pissing off the God. Yeah, I am boring, Johnny. Then fuck off. You don't have to be here. You don't think aliens would hide? Well, what if they're like these extraterrestrial perverts, right? That if they revealed themselves, there'd be a lot less butt probing going on. So I think that they're celestial perverts myself, right? That they hide and probe is their thing. If they were more widely, if they revealed themselves, then they would have to ask permission to give you the butt probe, right? If they did the courtesy of, hey, we are the aliens, we are here, we're the ones with the probes, right? And now we'll only ask. I mean, some people would love that, right? They would love it, but most people would not. So maybe that's why they keep themselves concealed, so they can continue to do their investigations of our backsides. Maybe there's some secrets of human DNA and evolution in there that they value. They always, oh, look what I've discovered. Look what I've discovered there. Um, don't kink shame the Greys. Oh, you bunch of perverted celestial realities, right? Oh man, the UFO experience wasn't a dream. I was driving with friends. Long short story. We stopped to look at it, and it zipped off like a sci-fi movie. See, that's what you shouldn't have done. Is you stopped and looked at it. I guarantee you have been butt probed now, and now you have to go. You have to go and get some regression therapy with some hypnosis to find out how deep they went. Right? I guarantee you got a butt probe. That's one of the biggest mistakes of when you see a spaceship, you keep driving. You do not stop because they will probe your ass. These aliens, right? You remember dreams was something they tried to lift you up. Yeah, they wanted to get in the back. Yeah. Too much LSD, girl, Jamie, you think that's what happens? You meet aliens and shit. Yeah, people do that all the time. You hear stories of the elves from people who do DMT. Now, Graham Hitchcock, that's his name, or something like that. The great explorer. Uh, he did DMT, and he said he had a terrible experience. He knew in his rational mind that this was only going to last a few minutes, but these beings are like they were going to do whatever they wanted to him, and there was nothing he could do about it. It was a frightening experience that he had on his DMT trip. I mean, that's terrible, right? I mean, I never want to experience anything like that. I'll never touch DMT, especially after what Graham said. I mean, that was quite frightening. But you hear all the tales of people. I heard this one person talking about a purple girl, and this other person was doing DMT, and the purple girl was in their experience and talked to and the other person didn't know that this was having the same experience, and the girl was talking about this guy. I mean, there's a lot of weird shit with this DMT stuff, right? You woke up holding onto your bed. Oh shit! So you had a terrible experience. I'm sorry that you had to. I mean, that's a traumatic thing when you experience alien abduction, right? That is a traumatic thing for people. DMT from the bark of the mimosa tree. We have them here in Florida. Look at girl JV. You want me to go out looking for trees now, right? Eating the bark of the trees. The gay aliens. Yeah. Well, I don't think they just like the backside. The aliens. I don't know if it's if they're. I mean, they really don't have any private parts. You ever see a gray? They got no pants on. I mean, that tells you that they're perverts straight off the bat. They don't wear clothes. They're a bunch of nudists, and they show up. They don't have wieners or anything, and then they do all these experiments on you, right? Taroxix. One of your uncles said he was a teenager, is walking the forest in Mexico to a village, and there were gnomes in a circle, and your uncle turned. I'd run too. I mean, That's some scary shit, seeing stuff like that, right? The geometric domes, yeah. I could tell you want love. What's love? Uh, I can tell you what's love. Where one is. Oh, you want to get me on that tree? Now, I would never do DMT. That doesn't interest me. Yeah. I mean, I've done cyberselling. That's as much as I'm going to ever do, right? Uh, Closeted stars a light year away. They travel thousands of years to get here just to probe us. I mean, that's some dedication to your sexual desires, that you're willing to travel the cosmos to share your perversions with people, right? That's trippy, Ricky. Oh man, most I've ever seen a gray wear is a cloak, but you're right, no pants. You saw one with the cloak on, right? Now this is interesting. I mentioned this gentleman over in the UK. He's an artist, and he paints pictures of his alien encounters. And there's this one gray lady that he's been screwing, and she's a hybrid, so she has these huge breasts that they've been making him mate with, and he has children that are hybrid aliens. He's an interesting gentleman. He paints all of this stuff. He was on like the History Channel on some alien show, and I'm like, well, that's an interesting. You're quite the artist there, aren't you? Right? He's having a good time with the aliens. He's not getting butt probed. He is doing the probing himself of the hybrid female alien that he is encountering. Right? You don't want to try it either, girl, Jamie. Has anyone ever seen an 8-foot, very muscular, dark green lizard walk in your room? Look at all these people with their desires for aliens. Like, you would love that, right? You would disrobe immediately if you saw a very muscular 8-foot lizard walk into your room. Yeah. I won't kink shame you. No, not at all. Oh, Uncle Grandpa. Yeah. It is possible to be an Uncle Grandpa. I kept trying to figure it out up here. And I had my AI. I'm like, how can one be an uncle and a grandpa at the same time? And they laid it out for me. Ask your AI, and they will tell you how it's possible to be Uncle Grandpa, right? The hybrids are not. Oh my! I'm getting everyone aroused here, talking about aliens. You're watching now, all excited. Oh man, what drug is that guy? I don't know. Yeah, you never had alien booty that you know of, or maybe they had your booty, and you have a regression of a memory that's trying to speak to you right now. There was actually a study in Frontiers in Psychology Journal in 21 that determined that 94% of DMT, not related experiences, have nearly identical themes and entities that they encounter. Now that's frightening, right? Because some of these entities are not nice. Some of them are assholes, right? So that is quite frightening to realize that, right? That Chad reptilian, bro. Chad the alien. Oh my goodness, right? You've done LSD and mushrooms. I will not do DMT though. Too old for that crap. Yeah, I'm too old to do that shit too. Nanu, got Mork and Mindy here now, right? Take me up to the mothership. You want to have a good time, don't you? Right? Yeah, just talking about aliens, it just is bringing all kinds of arousal here to people. I want to be the one abducted. You've tried DMT. You've seen shadow people. You've seen shadow people in dreams and sleep paralysis. That's weird. Yeah, sleep paralysis is a terrible thing that I've dealt with in my life, and I haven't talked about it in a long time. Sleep paralysis is something like a regular event that happens every probably 6 months now. Um, what's odd is when I've learned to cope and deal with it, I don't have it as much. I used to have it every week when I was younger, and it was part of my fear. How I've learned to cope with it. I mean, you don't have to be a religious person to deal with it. Is to understand, to train yourself the same way like people in law enforcement train themselves when they're dealing with difficult events where weapons are drawn, right? Because your brain, when you learn to understand that your brain goes into this fight or flight mode, that there's a chemical rush that wants you to be afraid and to react. That is how we are naturally prone to events that we have no power over. And when you start to understand that about yourself, and you practice this in the dream paralysis state, to realize that your mind is creating all of this shit, right? And to be able to maintain like a meditation through it. Say, I'm going to wake up soon. This is all, pomp here from my brain creating it. That's how to deal with it outside of religion. Now, I am a religious person, so there's also spiritual elements to it. You have beings, in my opinion, that take advantage of your mental state. So all of these images are created by you, and they might be but this small, these beings, right? They're taking advantage of your fears, creating an atmosphere in which they can siphon energy out of you. When you learn not to play their game, and how do you do that? When I get into sleep paralysis, it's with my eyes closed. So I have an awareness, a presence, and I'm able to talk in my mind. So when these experiences happen, I've learned to be confident because I know that I'm not alone. I know that God is with me. Whatever you want to call God, I know that I'm not alone in this experience. So I tell them to fuck off. I'm not afraid of them anymore. I mean, the fear comes, but now when these beings start harassing me, I give them the middle finger in my mind every time, because I know that I'm not alone. I know that I'm not abandoned. I've heard the voice of God. I mean, I could be insane, yes, certainly, but that has given me confidence to know that I don't have to be afraid of anything anymore. And that took me a while to practice, to be able to stand up and give whatever entities that are the middle finger. And that's my go-to now. I can have the confidence to tell them, because they can't do anything to you. It's all your imagination that they play on, right? Yeah, it was demonic, yeah. You've seen reptilian Jesus on ET. I'm so glad you learned to cope with it, but I'm sorry you had to go through that. It's a good subject, right? Yeah, it started happening to me when I was a teenager, when I started messing around with the occult. An entity manifested to me and was trying to kill me. And how I began to deal with it is I would call upon how I understood deity. I would say, "Help me, Father." And I would come right out of it each time. And as I grew, I would still have these experiences. And when I became an adult, what I knew of God said, "No, you're going to learn to deal with it yourself. I'm not helping you anymore. You're going to learn to fight it yourself." So the presence of the divinity was with me, but I had to have the courage to stand up against this fear that was tormenting me. And it took a long time to have a steady, giving it the middle finger now, right? That is the key to escaping sleep, is letting go of the fear. That's how you learn to control your dreams, right? Yeah, the fear is real. You should be afraid when you see a demon, right? But it's what you do with the fear. It's how you manage through it. So it's when you experience sleep paralysis, you have no control. and you're like between consciousness and subconscious, right? You're not in your right set of mind. You have a limited form of awareness. And so it's understandable why you are free, right? Why you're afraid. Um, you had sleep paralysis until 10. You forced yourself to not break free. That was your key of overcoming it. Yeah. It's just your brain waking up before your body. It's a chemical thing. It is a chemical thing. This is a diet, very a well documented thing that you can receive treatment for by your doctor, right? And I've learned as a person suffering from it to deal with it spiritually and without spirituality. I've learned both elements. Yeah, that's how I've learned to deal with it. It's a neurological condition. Yeah, but for me, I really believe it's influenced by the spiritual realities. Um, let's see. We have a deep fear inside of us. We aren't aware of consciously. It comes out in deep psychedelic trips. Yeah, I would imagine. Um, there's definitely a spiritual aspect. Yeah, some people aren't spiritual, and they see it purely as a brain chemistry thing, and I think that's okay to do. Um, I've studied it from both sides to understand on how to heal. Like when I would be in that state, I could call on, for instance, Jesus, and nothing would happen. Nothing would happen. There's no rebuking whatever you did. Nothing would happen. Um, and how to deal with that when you feel powerless. You feel like I would hear a voice sometimes mocking when I would use like the name of Jesus for my symbol to try to get out of that. It would say it back at me. It would mock me. Um, so now I've learned to mock it, whatever it is. If it's just my imagination, telling it to fuck off, I've learned to mock it back, and that's empowering to me. That's why it rarely happens now. It rarely happens to me. The fear is very real. It certainly is. It certainly is. You worked in sales. You've seen the demons in people in your sales, right? Um, let's see. You don't know if this is sleep paralysis. One day I was sleeping, dreaming in the dream. I was brushing my hair. Spider on the table woke you up. It had a hairbrush in the hand. That's an interesting dream. Oh my! There's some interesting experiences that people have, right? Um, have any of you like come out of a dream and you're still manifesting the experiences of the dream? Has that ever happened to anybody before? Like you can still feel your brain is still dreaming, you're still seeing shit. Um, has anyone had that before? I think that's more common than anything. That you like rub your eyes to get out. You're still seeing shit, so you rub your eyes. Um, what's worse when that happens, like having a psychological feeling of terror or loss of control when you come out of a dream state. Has anyone experienced that? I mean, that has happened to me on occasion where, I have to tell myself, you know what, you're going to be okay. I have to exercise hope. Has that happened to anyone before? Like you feel like you're losing your goddamn mind. Like you feel all of this pressure of insanity, like pushing upon you. And you really have to fight through it. Like it's going to be okay. Um, you take a few breaths and the feeling eventually passes, but it's kind of like a tear that's there that says you're going to lose your mind, right? Um, it's about the healing of the soul. You have dreams that you take a pee and you woke up and you need adult diapers. Oh man, yeah, we're all there with the adult diapers, aren't we? Some of us, right? Um, that's a wonderful. You ever have those dreams where you have to go to the bathroom in real life and you keep trying to find a toilet and just like I always have a dream I'm finding a urinal and nothing's coming out. Like something happens in the dream where uh, I have to go find a new toilet now. So I'm on a journey to find a toilet in my dream, right? Has anyone happened like that? And then you wake up and go to the bathroom. George Aiken is here. You've had a reoccurring dream. Yeah, maybe your subconscious is trying to teach you. I had the reoccurring dream for years of being stuck in high school or in college, and always, I in the dream I'd realize like I'd be stuck in my high school. I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? I have a master's degree. Why am I taking? I feel like I'm missing something. I keep going back, and I'm like stuck in this pattern. You know, in what helped me to get out of that dream that I had for years was experiences last year of leaving, trying, to find meaning in something that never really would give me meaning. I like Christianity for me and being a minister, as I've shared before, was a journey of vanity. I wasn't doing it for the people. I kept playing by this set of rules in life that says I had to be this, I have to do that to find meaning. And in that quest for meaning, like the job description of a minister, you're supposed to be helping people, right? Well, I was helping myself. I wasn't helping people. So that dream began to make sense to me. I didn't understand it. I kept, trying to meditate upon why am I back in high school taking a math class over and over again. It's because I was playing by this set of mentality where I could never get it right, no matter how much I tried to play by these rules of society. I just wasn't getting where I should be. And I felt I always have to take another class. I have to, please a certain person in order to advance in life. It was like I was where I was in an illegitimate way. I can't wait for those nightmares looking for a toilet. uh, you are peeing in your bed. You've had I've never done that with my urine dreams. Finding toilets, I've never had that experience. You're obsessed with dreams because the only place you feel safe and in control. Really? I feel like I don't have any control in my dreams, right? It's not the dreams so much, but the places, right? You have dreams about big waves and deep depths. That's interesting. That's interesting. I wonder what that means. Did I go to prom? I did, but not at my original high school because I dropped out. I mean, I didn't finish high school until I was 20. I went to ninth school. So I got to go to prom with a friend of mine at her school. My best friend, I went to prom with her at her school. But I never got to experience that in my own high school. Because my high school sucked, my experience of it. You have the same record about stuck in high school or junior high? Really? Do you need something? Hold on, I got it. My son wants. You need to read your book, sir. Did you need something? Yeah, go read your book until 12 o'clock. All right? Yeah, what sucks about certain schools, like my youngest son, he goes to Catholic school and they give you summer work. And he waits to the end of the summer. Like next week, he's starting school to do the summer work. So I'm like, you got to go read your book. He's got like an essay that he has to do on him. They have a book that they're supposed to read over the summer. He reads it the last week. So I just had to tell him, you're going to go read your book till like 12 o'clock. You have to do your homework. You have to get it done. They're really picky about that. Catholic schools with the summer work. Has anyone experienced that summer work? I mean, it's terrible. let's see, Bard, let's see, recurring dream of mine was, I was the one, tomato sheep pin cushions. I was repeatedly stabbed with needles. I can only see one direction, but don't get acupuncture, especially after a tomato sandwich or something, right? I can only imagine. And don't forget to hit the like button, my friends, as you come in. Comedy and spirituality together. We're talking about dreams this morning, how bizarre they are. We're talking about sleep paralysis. I've suffered from sleep paralysis for what? At least 30 years. I've suffered from sleep paralysis. How to manage it, how to maintain it, what to do. The Reiki master is here, Natalie. Good to have you here, our wonderful friend Natalie. Rose and Rook is her wonderful channel. She has wonderful and beneficial messages for mankind. You've been wanting to try acupuncture. It's, one of my sons, I took him, he was having some difficulties. What was it? He like pains in his body and sinuses. And, acupuncture is very beneficial to a lot of people. It's weird how we have this technology that is rooted in spirituality. The origins of acupuncture, there's all kinds of, legends and lore for that, right? But now you can go get lasers as acupuncture, to quit smoking. They do acupuncture for that. Isn't that interesting? There's a place in the next town. It says acupuncture lasers, quit smoking on the billboard. People go there to quit smoking with lasers for acupuncture. It's interesting where this sacred science has gone in the world, right? You made an amazing dish yesterday with kielbasa, green peppers, onions, garlics, olive oils, Dave's BBQ rub, and other spices. Oh, look at you. Did you wrap it up in tin foil? Baked for 400 degrees for 50 minutes. Yeah, you are you really know how to cook those sausages, don't you? Dreams can be a vision of the future. That is certainly. I had a strange dream that kind of scared me. I was taking this class that a friend of mine was giving, and he wanted us to take dream journals. And I had one where there was this circle. Well, first it was like north, east, south, and west it was expanding into the woods, the cardinal directions. And then there was this circle that was made in my bedroom of north, east, south, west, and the directions were off. It was cheaply done. And in the middle of it, there was a demonic presence. There was the devil. And what was strange, when I started practicing in the order of Bonzo-Vites and Druid, they have a ritual with the cardinal directions about initiation. And it reminded me of that dream. I don't think Druidry is of the devil, but the messed up directions, I made sure that I aligned all of the directions when I'm doing this ritual of initiation into this group that I belong to now. It just, the coincidence of that dream, which I had like 6 months before I joined, was just uncanny. This idea of the devil in contradicting the elements, contradicting the four corners, the sacredness of the world we live in, right? I never really figured it out, but it scared me, as I was joining it, because it reminded me of it. Yeah. Let's see here. Key is sleeping with sausages moist. Oh, I know what I'm doing in your dream, but possibly to remember even directly when you wake up. Yeah, that's good. If you're interested, sometimes your subconscious speaks to you, and sometimes about future events, right? Like I remember one time, sometimes the dreams, they make no sense. Like I had a dream I got in a fight with somebody. And when I got in the fight, this was like when I was a teenager, like months later, I'm like, I just had a dream about that 6 months ago. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. These dream moments that you have. And my spiritual father told me that when you dream about the future, and it doesn't really have any purpose. It's because your consciousness your subconscious is rooted in the divine, which is really outside of time and space, right? So these common experiences, glimpses of the future, are really just because of your unity with the divinity, right? Well met, fellow traveler. What kind of DeLorean are you? You're going to Azeroth. Oh my goodness, here. Jehovah Witnesses believe dreams are witchcraft? Really? That's crazy. Um, you have a where you can fly? Now that's fun. I got to break up a fight real quick. My kids are fighting. They're always fighting. Always fighting. Boys? All right. Let me show you. I got a special guest, my friends. A special guest has demanded an audience with you. There she is. Look at her. She just wanted to say hello to you. She's been sitting in her heat lamp all morning. She's like scratching up at the screen, at the walls, like, let me out. I want to see everybody. I want to see all of my fans here. Madam Tortoise here for your entertainment leisure. She's like, I dream too. I dream of being loved by all of you. Those are my dreams. The dreams of an animal. You ever see an animal in their dreams responding to like being pet, being loved? Isn't that adorable when you're able to see that, right? You know what it's experiencing, because you've seen the same expressions on their faces when you give them the love. It's always adorable when you watch your animals dream about you, right? There you are, Madam Tortoise. She says, touch the like button, everybody. Don't forget to touch the like button. Madam Tortoise demands it. All right. Back to your heat lamp, madam. Back to your heat lamp. Oh, my goodness. There you are. All right, friends. Spiritual entertainment, 7 days a week. I am here for you, talking about dreams, the reoccurring dreams, the experiences of dreams here, the future. How many of you have experienced a precognition of a terrible event through a dream? I mean, that happens to people. It prepares you. There's no way to get around of it, but you've had the experience of it already. That's always an interesting thing, isn't it? Yeah, lovely little creature. Yeah, yeah. She's not hiding in the shell. No, she loves me. When I come in the room, she starts like moving around. It's really adorable how your tortoise responds to you when you call its names, right? Your cat runs in its dreams, something like wakes up hissing. Yeah. Animals, no, bro. They don't. They know your connection. Yeah. Unlike modern humans, yeah. You have a few box turtles that roam the woods behind in your backyard. Yeah, where I live, we have the tortoises are protected by the state in the area behind my house where my grove is. So every now and then I'll see a giant one, but I can't touch it because I can get a ticket. But they are adorable. You have precognition in dreams. Sometimes it's usually a suggestion, not a guarantee. Yeah. You're thinking all the weird dreams I had are things yet to happen. Yeah, it's interesting how that works, right? How sometimes your subconscious is rooted in the past or future events, and it's speaking to you, right? It's an interesting phenomena that people have, that I've experienced several times, and it never makes sense to me. Some of the events that I dream about that happen in the future, and the people call that deja vu. Like, I've done this before. Like, I'll actually remember when I dreamt about it. I'm it might not be a big deal. Like, I was watching a movie the other night. I'm like, did I see this before? I'm like, I had a dream about watching this damn movie, and now I'm watching the movie, and I try to figure it out. I'm like, why? And I go back to what my spiritual father said, like, your subconscious is rooted in the experience of divinity. Therefore, you experience what exists outside of time and space. So it makes sense. You're from Michigan? Oh, yeah, that's where I'm from. Yeah. Yeah, synchronicity to me is more of a planned event by the universe, by divinity, as a way to saying you're important, rather than randomness. Synchronicity, I think, are ordained moments at the right time in the right place. And sometimes synchronicity is not like profound. Now, we have documented here on this channel synchronicities that have to deal with comedy, right? Some of you remember what we've talked about, like, how could that have happened? For instance, some of you remember we had a member called Jean-Luc Picard, and who shows up right after him? We start talking about the Borg. We have someone from the Borg show up. I mean, stuff like that, little things, little synchronicities that reveal a comedic nature of the universe, right? That I just laugh. I mean, how could that happen at this right time and right place to cause all of this laughter that we're sharing with one another? I mean, there's got to be a divine comedian out there, and that's how I see divinity myself. Our good friend Blake is here, servant of the Emperor. Brother Blake, will you be able to serve the Emperor tonight? Will you be able to join us to drive back the forces of the Xenos? We are tired of what they are doing to our world, right? Terrians must unite. We must stand up for justice. I got many hymns that I prepared for tonight. That seems to, of course, great. That'll be about 11 p.m. your time. Were you able to go on and fight against the forces last night? I had to get off, but I know that you kept fighting. Yeah. So 11 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. American Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be standing up. You can go and you see the video in my live streams area. You can get a notification if you want to see us fight against serving the Emperor's Space Marines together. As I said, that was my most, we have a small channel here, and usually nobody watches the gaming streams. But last night, we had a lot of people. We had 75 people watching us, which that's a new for me, having a small channel here. I think a lot of people enjoyed my commentary and my hymns. So I prepared more hymns to share for the Emperor. Thank you, brother. You have given the gift of membership. You are a true servant of the Emperor. Now people will have the pleasure of being able to celebrate the Emperor with us. If you are a new member, on my page, there's a members tab now for you, and a Discord link if you want to hang out with us on Discord. We do lots of fun things together, like we're fighting for the Emperor tonight. Friday nights, we play Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, you play Space Marines daily, do you? Yeah, I didn't realize how popular of a game it is. I love all things Warhammer when it comes to video games. I really love the series. I love the lore. I've been learning about the lore. I started, before I came on, I shared a lore video about the Emperor. I'm going to be doing more of that as I learn the lore of this wonderful Warhammer 40K universe. I mean, I think about how many lore videos I can make. I mean, unlimited. That's how much lore is available from Warhammer 40K, right? There's so much there. It really is a very rich and beautiful history in terms of a gaming tabletop game that's now mostly video games, right? I've never played tabletop Warhammer, but all the video games, yeah. Mike is here. Now, Mike's been coming back. We used to call Mike the Prick Piccolo, but now we're going to have to take that name back, Mike, because you're being nice. What happened to you? Did you get saved? What's going on, Mike? You're nice. You used to accuse me of witchcraft. What's going on? Did you change religions or something? Mike, you're actually nice when you come on here. Did your pastor talk to you about being a dick or something? Like, you have to be nice to people if you want to save them to your religion, right? So Mike's been on here for the past couple of weeks being nice. He has been on my show for probably about 6 months or longer, being a dick all the time when he comes on, saying I'm a warlock and shit like that. But now he's nice. He says hello. What's going on with you, Mike? You dropped WoW for Space Marines too? Yeah. What do you think of the new tabletop World of Warcraft? Has anyone tried it out? Yeah, I'm doing good, Mike. Thank you for asking. Yeah. This is an interesting theme you have in your dreams, Ara. Yeah. Mike found Druidry. Dungeons and Dragons is your favorite cartoons, but it was the video game that brought realism. Which video game of D&D did it for you? For me, the greatest D&D game is Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, not 3. 3 is a nice game, but there's not a lot of imagination that is involved. There's not a lot of immersion. Most of the imagination is limited to me with Baldur's Gate 3. It's a very good 5th edition game. The combat is right, but it's not like a game I want to keep replaying. I mean, I'm bored with it. I really am. I don't want to play it ever again. That's how I feel about Baldur's Gate 3. It was a fun game. Now, Baldur's Gate 2 and 1, I've gone back. I've got at least 10,000 hours in those games, because I've modded them for years. The Infinity Engine is like the gift that keeps on giving if you played those games, right? Did become a good guy. Yeah, it happens, right? We get people. It hurt my feelings when you called you a prick. Well, I'm glad that you've realized that your behavior was unfortunate. So you've changed your tone. So I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, but you were being a dick. So I'm glad that you've come to a place of change, Mike. We appreciate you're willing to change your ways here. The power of the bar changes. And we've had a lot of people that have been on here as critics or trolls. They'll say, "What? I like it here. I like being here. This is quite entertaining to me. The conversations have value for people." So they end up changing their perspective, their tone when they come on, right? Let's see here. Yeah, we're glad you're here, Mike. Yeah. I want to be positive troll and say you're funny. Yeah, that's what happens. I don't mind trolls as long as you have a good sense of humor and not being a jerk. Yeah. How was the last ritual? Did it work? No, my penis is still limp. All of the sacred sauce didn't do anything for it. Yeah. Why must you have hot takes? What does that mean? What is a hot take? You'll have to educate me. Am I giving you some type of arousal? Is what you're doing? You don't like me arousing you. Your sexual desires are acting up when you watch. Is that what you're saying? I don't know. Why you're calling it a hot take? Oh, look at that! What have you done to me now? Yeah. Um, all the daily rituals like waking up. Yeah. Fire element. There it is. That causes arousal, right? Deflection through normalization is a pathetic farce. What? What do you want to? Why do you want to talk about my penis? Oh, I don't understand. What benefit does me sharing my penis with you have? I mean, we got a screen here. You can't really get much pleasure out of that. You call it deflection. I call it lack of erection. I mean, that's what it is on my side here. Um, Part of your morning ritual is starting with a dose of barred magic. Yes, I've been the rituals for many people here over the year, right? The first comment I made here was, "Holy shit, it's Gandalf," but your response made you immediately appreciate the way you carry yourself. Yeah, I am the master of the response. It is true. No one can respond the way I do. Yep. You're talking about the first Dungeons and Dragons video arcade game. No game before it had made more better graphics like that. Well, see, I'm not drawing any memory from a lot of those games were terrible. Especially the one on the Nintendo Entertainment System, which was the Dragonlance game. That was like one of the worst D&D games ever. I can't recall playing a D&D game in the arcade. I do not have any memory of that at all. Now, on the computer, certainly, all of the Goldbacks editions in the 90s, going back to some of the early 80s stuff. But I don't have any. What was at the arcade? Now, there was a Dragon Slayer game that was quite well done for its time back when, like 1984, 85, 86, it came out. The Dragon Slayer was a 3D game where you had a momentary time to react, to push the buttons as you entered a room, or to move to the left or the right. It was quite difficult. Now, they remade that for the Nintendo Wii. You could play the Dragon Slayer game. I don't know if whatever platforms they had, but I had purchased that game, and I remember playing it for the Nintendo Wii because you had those controllers for the Wii. The Dragon Slayer game. Did anyone play the remake? I know that people probably played that in the old days, right? You're a tinfoil hat fashionista. You put tinfoil on all of your heads, right? Me lord, I farted and about to eat donut. Well, what the hell does that have to do with anything we're talking about? I'm not responsible for your flatulence. Yeah. That reminds me of Zerg here made a wonderful commentary about me talking about somebody's flatulence issues recently. He makes all kinds of memes and things, Zerg here. My bad, bot. Sorry, you're right. Dragon Slayer is what you're talking about. That's what I thought. Yeah, that was not a proper D&D game. Dragon Slayer, that inspired what, a TV show or something? I think it was based. Now, during the early 80s, they had a very good film called Dragon Slayer about a wizard's apprentice. The wizard goes into like a death state. He goes to the other side and somehow is tied up with the energy of the dragon. And so you have this Dragon Slayer using a relic that is connected to the power of the dragon. And ultimately he has to defeat this dragon because the dragon requires the sacrifice of a virgin. And he falls in love with this virgin, and he ends up destroying the amulet and all of his power to win the love of his life. It was very romantic, right? Did anyone see that? That was a really good film, Dragon Slayer, from the 80s, right? A very wonderful time, high fantasy film. I wish it would have remade that. That would have been a good remake if they ever remade that. Um, is flagellance religious? Sounds like, yeah, pretty much, yeah. The relic is called the Sanachu medallion, and it was very cursed. Yeah, I'm unaware with because I haven't seen that movie in a long time. That's certainly something I probably should see this weekend, because that was like one of my. I still haven't seen Kroll yet either. Kroll was a great film. I just haven't had a time to return to some of these classics. We've been really enjoying the. Speaking of dragons, the what is it called? On HBO, the Dragon, the House of the Dragon. That is really good. Um, a really enjoyable show. It's like um, the Game of Thrones. So you get like hundreds of years in the past of all of this intrigue between competing kings and queens. It's really well done. Um, Dragon Slayer movie was your favorite. It was a Disney film, you think, in 91. Now, that's the Disney one is different. The Disney one is the Dragon Slayer that I'm talking about it was not a cartoon. The Disney one, now there was a couple of ones. There was the traditional, the one about Merlin's Apprentice and the King Arthur themed one. And then the best one was called the Black Cauldron. The Black Cauldron is about a magic sword that helps a young man defeat all kinds of evils. The Black Cauldron, that was not a popular Disney film, the Black Cauldron, but that Black Cauldron is a lot better than. What's interesting about the one about Merlin, the Disney film, is that you see Ceridwen's mythology, because Merlin has a battle with this, or the apprentice, who's King Arthur, I think. He has a battle with this female sorceress, and they go through these various transformations, right? That's the story of Ceridwen right there. You like the House of the Dragon? Yeah, it's really good. The Toad and the Rabbit hop to the side. Really? Yeah. 20 more minutes. I'm going to be with you, my friends. Don't forget to hit the like button as you come in. Comedy and spirituality together in one place. Talking about whatever you want to talk about. Really, we started talking about dreams, and now we're talking about film from the 80s and video games. All of the fun stuff. I love the Rings of Power is not canon, right? It's doing its own thing, but I enjoy it. I love Tolkien's world, right? I don't like the fact that they're trying to teach you, the obvious. I don't have a problem with whatever actors want to play a film, but when one of the tendencies in modern film and television shows is they're trying to educate you. I don't like that. I'm already a gay. I'm already a diversity person, and I don't need to be educated anymore. When I watch a film, I want to be taken to another world. I don't want to have to think about politics in the real world and how people need to be accepted and stuff like that. I don't need an education. So I don't appreciate, having, it's kind of like, why have one, if you're going to put diversity in a film, why one black elf? I mean, that's ridiculous. That's tokenism, right? Tokenism and tokenism. Why not make a whole community of black elves? Why one? I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. Is there going to be more black elves in the future, right? Is there like a whole land of black folks that are elves, right? I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with that, but it doesn't make any sense to me. You have all of these white elves, and you have one black guy. I mean, what's going on with that? I mean, what are they trying to teach me here, right? Let's see here. The Sword and the Stone. That's what it was called. Patty, thank you. Yeah. The Blunt of Destiny. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to be educated. I think that is a mistake that's like what Christians do with their films. They're so obvious, right? When you're watching a Christian film, they're trying to convert you, right? They can't just make a damn film. Like Tolkien was a Christian. His world is a Christian world, but he's not trying to convert you with it, right? You could find the element of Christianity in Tolkien and in Harry Potter, right? But Harry Potter's not trying to convert you. It is a fantasy that you are able to experience. I don't want to be educated on modern politics when I watch television, right? A whole land of more shelves. Yeah. Why just one? I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. And where's the gay elves? Well, if we're going to be diversity, we need a couple of gay elves in there. Where are the gay elves? Right? If you're trying to educate me, you need more diversity in the rings of power. Right? We need gay elves, we need transgendered elves, we need all different types of elven folk. Not just the one black guy. I mean, that's not enough diversity for me. Right? It's the same plot. The Chosen is good enough. It doesn't feel like an educational series. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Like when you watch The Chosen, they're not trying to convert you. They are. It's a beautiful display of the world and the atmosphere. Yeah. My kids watch The Chosen. I never got into it. I don't like watching, even as a Christian, I don't like watching Jesus films because it's too close to the heart. I always end up weeping that's the problem of being a cancer. If you are a cancer, our disease is weeping at everything, damn thing. It's one of the most unfortunate zodiac signs you could be is a cancer because you're always crying all the time. I cry. Everything. Always crying every goddamn day, crying about something because I'm a cancer, right? Bring on the diversity, right? They always try, like Mel Gibson's The Passion. That's like one huge guilt trip right there. They have, I mean, that's about a person being tortured. I saw The Passion and it made me sick. I mean, I never wanted to see it again. I saw it because I was like a fairly new Christian at the time. And this movie came out. I took work off to go see it. And I'm like, I remember leaving The Passion. And people go to the bathroom after the movie, right? Everyone's quiet. Everyone's like, we've just experienced something traumatic. I mean, that's a terrible film to me. It's about a guy getting tortured. That makes you feel guilty enough where you want to join the religion, right? That's the problem with the Catholic Church. They guilt you and shame you into following Jesus. Oh, look what you're doing. You're making him suffer. Oh, you're hurting him. Look, the Stations of the Cross. You are doing this to Jesus. You did it. Oh, now you're making him suffer more by your sins. I had to deal with that shit as a Catholic and talking to my parishioners and all of their guilt. I'm hurting him. I can't stop hurting him. It's really ridiculous, right? D's Nuts is here. And Frodo, the Drungo, is here. You're a Scorpio. What does that mean? It means that you don't have enough power in your life. You reverted to being just a different type of crustacean, right? You like bananas. I bet your dentist enjoys them as well. The Christian movie you like was The Case for Christ, based on a true story of Lee Strobel. He was an atheist, I never saw that one. I saw the one with Kemet Sorbo called God Is Not Dead. I mean, when I was a Christian, I thought that movie was ridiculous. It was so fake. There was nothing real about the plot. It was an obvious conversion attempt. This movie with Kevin, so God is not dead. He's really alive. And all these churches are showing the movie. And I mean, it was a stupid. Kevin, go back to the Andromeda. Not the last series. The last series of Andromeda sucked bad. Some of you remember that? Andromeda was an excellent series. And then you get this last series where they're like stuck in some universe without the spaceship. I mean, it was terrible. They're all like stuck on this planet, and everything is shitty, right? It was a terrible, terrible series at the end. Andromeda. What a shame. They should have just stopped when it was good. How do I feel about 1001 Nights? You talking about the sci-fi TV show? Was well done. You need a bigger penis? Yeah. The life of Brian Brain was good. I can't read. I'm illiterate. You have all the power that life stands through with you. Without me, there's nothing, and you would not exist. You are God, and I will bow to you. I bow to you, Frodo. You are my Lord and Savior now. Make sure you give me $20. I only convert for money, not deity. Love Jesus, Yeshua, and Savior, the way, the truth, and the life. Well, good for you, Dorian. You have some light in your life now, right? That guides you. Good for you. Shadow projection or shadow erection. It's one or the other, right? Oh, my shadow is showing today. Let me shove it in your face, right? That's what we see here a lot. People showing their shadow through their wiener, right? You have all the power. Good for you, Frodo. You have the one ring, and now you're going to rub it in all of our face. By the way, your ring is supposed to go on your fingers. Not there, you pervert. Yeah. Sequel to The Passion is in the works right now. Yeah, I'm not going to see it. I liked his movie with the what was it? The Aztecs. Did you like Mel Gibson's movie? I don't like the original language stuff. That's not for me. But that was a funny movie, especially the comic relief in the beginning, where the guy is. What is that called? Did anyone see it? The Mel Gibson film about the Aztecs. I forgot the name of it, but in the beginning, this one gentleman in the tribe, he has something wrong with his wiener, and so he gets advice from the tribal elder. Apocalypse, yeah. He gets advice from the tribal elder with putting some special spices on it, which ends up burning his wiener. It's kind of inappropriate, right? I'm like, Mel, I thought you were a good Christian man, and now you're making like dirty jokes, right? Don't you like it when these actors are like super religious, and then they end up making like dirty movies, like Marky Mark? Did you see it? He's like super Catholic, talking about how wonderful Christianity is, and he's making movies about people's testicles and shit now. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, right? Let's see. There's a special place in hell for filmmakers who choose to use subtitles for an American market. Damn it. Yeah. And the Spanish shows up at the end. Yeah. Yeah. The Apocalypto or whatever. Yeah. That was an interesting film because you could see like the Aztec religion and how terrible it was for people to live in that world, right? They pull the heart out of the guy right when the eclipse happens. They time it all out to show people they have this power when they really don't, right? Let's see here. Where am I at? I got 8 more minutes, my friends, for your entertainment leisure. And then I'm coming back tonight to fight in the Emperor's name at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Usually Wednesday nights I have to get on a little bit later, but rest of the week around 5 p.m. Is usually when I get home from driving the kids. And I get off around 7 usually, but tonight I'll be on to about 9. And that was a good movie, wasn't it, JC? Yeah. Have you seen the movie The Matrix? Who hasn't? I mean, that's a wonderful... Now, what did you think about the last Matrix movie? It wasn't as good, to be honest with you. You have this Matrix movie that came out, 5 years ago? That the hero kind of has lost his way, right? It wasn't as good, the last Matrix movie, but the other 3, that was some really good stuff, right? And why is it so successful? Why was the Matrix movies so appealing to people? because it really speaks about the world we live in my opinion. We live in that type of world, maybe not with like robots and shit, but with in terms of our spirituality, I think, in the world we live in. A lot of us are living in an illusion, right? At least I was for most of my life, I think. You forgot the question? Me too. I don't remember either. 90s thriller movies were great, certainly, yeah. There's something magical. Maybe it's because I grew up during those time periods that made those movies have more value to me. Um, you bring the reefer and blue pills to our dates. That's what makes our relationship really work out. When we get together for our homosexual encounters, yeah, the reefers and the blue pills, all night fun, right? Um, Even better than the first, you were crying tears of joy, really? Do you know they are making Forrest Gump 2? Really? I thought he died. Didn't he die? Forrest Gump 2. Now that's going to be? Are you serious? About 9/11 and then 9/11 happened. Oh, so 9/11 happened and they stopped Forrest Gump 2. So that was canceled. That's interesting. Um, you watched it on LSD, Forrest Gump. That's not my that Forrest Gump would not be my go-to movie for getting high and tripping out. Maybe Cheech and Chong, Up in Smoke, not Forrest Gump. Now, that's an interesting choice of film for your getting high. Yeah. There's some movies that need to be left alone. Yeah. You like the new background, you prefer the old one. I keep changing them all of the time. Some type of pentacle or goddess. Oh, I forgot. Is Natalie, are you still on? This is for Natalie. We had her on yesterday, the goddess here. Let me bring her up. Wonderful goddess Keridwen here in the background here. Oh, where's she at? I know she's on here somewhere. I keep down. There she is, right here. For Natalie's pleasure, there. The wonderful goddess Garth Keridwen. Uh, for your entertainment leisure there. The patron of our program here, my ancestral goddess Keridwen, for your entertainment leisure. You are the upper team of the Cipher and the Matrix. Oh, look at you. I turned into Jenny. Who is Jenny? What does that mean? I don't understand. You like to smoke and watch Dirty Dancing? Oh, damn. Oh, that Patrick Swayze just does. It makes you all tingly in the inside, right? Yeah, he is a wonderful entertainer, especially in Ghost, right? I've always wanted to kiss Whoopi Goldberg and then pretend that she's Patrick Swayze. Yeah. Don't get high and watch heavy metal. Fair warning. Oh, that was that interesting, like semi-pornographic cartoon that was not for children. I remember watching that as a child. That was about people doing drugs like cocaine and watching someone's breasts get out of control. That's all I remember as a child, watching heavy metal. It was on like Cinemax After Dark or something. Who is the fair maiden? That is my ancestral goddess, Keridwen, the goddess of the Awen, the goddess of the cauldron of the Awen. She is very important for people who practice modern day druidry. A lot of the mythology that we use is based on her experience. Yeah. God bless Bethesda for getting rid of 2,000 Daedric parasites. Bethesda sucks. They're milking out Skyrim for too damn long. I mean, this is ridiculous. Yeah. Super Scott, good to see you. Only a few moments left here with you, my friends. I mean, it's parting is the sweetest of sorrows, right? Yeah, good morning. It's always nice to see you, Super Scott. Yeah, yeah. People are not equipped for the positive energy. Yeah, sometimes they're not, right? Is that a god? Is the goddess single? Well, she has a family. She is married in the mythology, so she's not really single. Yeah, all of my ancestors, they become goddesses or gods at some point, right? If a lot of the Celtic traditions, which are lost to us, all that's really left of, some mythologies, some stories, the languages, right? I was watching a show yesterday about how terribly Welsh people were treated, not by the English, but by people in your own families, right? They used to make things that they would beat you with, so you speak English. This also happened in Ireland. Oh, it's terrible. The imposition of the English culture, the Teutonic Knights, forcing their culture upon what is considered Celtic, right? Um, it, all Celtic is a culture, really, and anyone can be, practice Celtic culture. It is not, and it's not a race. It is not a form of humanity. There's no DNA. Celtic culture is open to everyone, right? We obviously celebrate it in our own way here because many of my ancestors were Celtic, and it's a powerful spirituality that speaks to my experience. Um, she can adopt you. Love Canada. You watched heavy metal as a kid too. It was misogynist male fever dream. Pretty much, it was very inappropriate, right? It's like some men that really never met women made the show, in my opinion. It's terrible how females are treated, like in a lot of fantasy, especially in Dungeons and Dragons, which was dominated by young nerdy men, right? So you put all the ladies in skimpy underwear and give them a big sword, right? All of this imagery, which is quite inappropriate, how women have been treated as just merely sexual objects, right? And that's what when you watch that heavy metal cartoon, what's unfortunate about that. Oh my, we made it to 60 people here. Coming in at the end, my friends. Yeah, we've had a good time today. The goddess here, Nibelpew Mortis, is Ceridwen. Ceridwen is a Welsh goddess. Um, her mythology is very important for the modern practice of druidry. Ceridwen. Um, None of these powerful enchanted armor are merely decorations you for your peers, right? Plot armor, right? Tap the goddess for a blessing and like the stream, my friends. And we certainly will return to you later today to do battle against the legions of these evil forces of chaos, servants of the god of Rat, as he is known, Nurgle, as he is called in the universe of Warhammer. We're going to have fun doing that later on tonight, but we have come to the conclusion of our broadcast today. I will return to you tomorrow for Voice of the Bard in the morning at the same time around 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great rest of your day, my friends.